Mr. Impossible Curt Cignetti wins the first national championship for Indiana in their history of their program. He's unbelievable. Where does this team rank as the best team ever? You had the Bears and the Rams have a thriller. Rams coming out on top. Bo Nix goes down after a victory. 49ers had absolutely no life. Patriots keep marching on. Sean McDermott gets fired. Oh my God, is he the fall guy for Josh Allen? Eric Bieniemy is signed back with the Chiefs. They're getting the crew back together. Is that going to make a difference for the Chiefs? Then we've got Kyle Tucker's monumental contract. Unbelievable. The Dodgers, where were they? I mean, could they beat an all-star team from another division? I mean, you have Andruw Jones getting in the Hall of Fame finally. It's about time, right? Carlos Beltran, one of the best five-tool players that I've ever seen in my lifetime, with Jeff Kent. And lastly, what is this dang debate about some bedroom layout? Let's talk about it, guys.
Four or 5 years, I thought we were talking about the product that we put on the field this year that looked like absolute trash. 4 or 5 years.
So carry on. Enjoy your regular season win. Go ahead and hang that banner.
They didn't have that. You really think behaviors would get better without sports? You're out of your
no.
They didn't have that.
No.
Welcome to our crazy little show. Experts of very little. January 22nd. I do have to, right off the top, before you guys even say a word, I've got to apologize about the scheduled live for yesterday. Changed a graphics card in my PC, and boy, I should have waited. I should have waited until today so we could have actually did the show on time. But regardless, we are here. We are finally ready to roll right before the winter storm hits Oklahoma. How bad do you think it's going to get?
We might get a couple inches, if anything.
Mr. Pessimist over here.
2 to 4 inches.
Shoot.
Now, hey, listen, we're talking about snow.
Shoot,
okay?
John.
Calm down.
What you got? What's your prediction?
No, I don't think we're getting we're getting hardly anything at all. I think we'll get more snow or more ice, sleet and ice than anything.
My safe pick is 8 inches of snow. I'm going to say 10 inches of snow is what we get. The models have pumped it out consistently every single day. The first wave is going to come through, dump about 3 to 4 inches, and then all of a sudden, that Saturday night storm is going to wipe out Wyandottes Wrestling. I mean, really pile some snow out there.
Good thing it will be done by 3:00. So,
well then, yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. The last big snowstorm we had was really 2011. I looked at the totals that Mike Collier was putting on there, and I remembered a few of them. Let's talk about it real quick. 2011, we remember that one, right?
Oh yeah.
They dumped. I think it was like 14 inches of snow. But do you remember? I had to go look at the data, but it was just a couple days later. It dumped like 8 more inches. I remember waking up going, "What the heck happened?"
Yes, it was like within a week's time we got
over 40 inches
twice.
Or something.
Yeah, blasted twice.
So I was out of school for 2 weeks. I remember that. I was a teacher assistant, so I didn't get paid for 2 weeks. Then do you remember the 2006 snow? It was right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You remember this one? I was in college, and I remember the only place that was open in Bartlesville was Hunan's Chinese restaurant. And we got in that big old pickup truck with my roommates, and we drove through the snow going about 5 miles an hour and went and ate at Hunan's. I felt like I was in A Christmas Story.
There was also one during Christmas time, and I think that was like 2010.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, because I remember driving home on the turnpike. It was like ice road truckers, baby. Just everything.
I remember you texting during that storm.
Probably was. Yeah.
And then let's see if you guys remember this one, because I do remember this one. Okay. Not the ice storm. That's separate. That's not snow.
Oh, yeah. Trying to catch trees on fire during that. But, yeah.
1996, March 8th. You guys remember this one?
The only reason why I remember that is because that was during spring break.
That's right. That's it.
That's the only reason why I remember is because it's during spring break, and I remember going to my cousin Matt's house thinking, oh, man, we're going to have fun. Snowed in the whole time.
That's it. That's why I remember
Absolutely
it. Spring break. We going out there building forts and snowball fights on spring break. It was just the most mind-blowing thing.
It's like, spring break, supposed to be doing stuff. Yeah. Here's about 10 inches, 12 inches of snow. Come on.
So those 3 events were all on the top 5 of the most snow in a 2-day period. And he's saying that this could very well top that, or not, maybe not top it all the way, but we could be top 5 storm.
Yeah, because the worst of it's coming Saturday night, early Sunday morning, and that's when it's supposed to get like cold. So it's like
yeah. Well, so yeah, we're buckling down, preparing for that. I'm sure John will sell a ton of cars during that time.
Oh, I'll be at work anyway. I don't know about selling cars. I might be watching TV.
I mean, that's when I go to find a car.
Yeah,
when you're snowed in and there's ice on the road.
18 inches of snow. Yeah, you know what? I'm like, I want to go look at trucks today. That's exactly what I want to do. Yeah.
Let's go check out.
Hey, listen, my brother could tell a story where there's I don't know, 1.5 feet of snow out on the ground, and the funny part about it is it's Tracy's in-laws. Guy comes in to look at a beetle, a red bug covered in snow. So Justin goes out, has to scrape all the snow and ice off of it.
Oh my goodness!
The thing to get around, pulls it around, and ends up selling him a bug in the snow. But
unbelievable.
I don't see us doing too much, and I'm hoping that they close the doors a little early.
Well, you need to, so you can focus on this podcast. Dang.
I'm whatever we got to do. Sheesh. Let's go.
No, because if he has to close early on Monday, then it's going to screw up our whole schedules. Like, well, I got to work late on this day. Blah blah.
Hey, listen, if we close early on Monday, bet your rear I'm off on Tuesday.
I might as well just go buy a new GPU and try to put it in.
And try to install it again. Yep.
Well, speaking of storms, and John will appreciate this, the Indiana Hoosiers completed their incredible run that Steve Sarkisian said could not be possible anymore. Could not go undefeated. No team will go undefeated. And they did with a 27-21 victory over Miami. But what I do want to point out something, though. I think I was the closest on the prediction. Is that because
Yes, you
didn't
were.
John say something like
John said it'd be a blowout.
That's what I
wasn't
heard,
even going to be close.
And what was it?
Almost that way.
43 yards from Miami winning, I think, wasn't it? Mostly. Yeah.
It took Carson Beck turned into Josh Allen for Indiana to win.
The Lord.
So
the one thing he couldn't turn into was Patrick Mahomes because he was home. So
he would have won it if he was that.
Indiana 27-21, and we are going to take a look at kind of dig a little bit here on the stats. But Carson Beck 1932, 232 yards, a touchdown, and interception. I mean, Mendoza, Miami was shutting them down. I mean, look at this. 16 of 27, 186. Look at the rushing. 45 carries, 131 yards, 2.9 average with 2 touchdowns. It's not like they came in and just had their way. Miami's defense is playing well, and I'm going to tell you right now, boys, Tony, God, I hope the Panthers get him when he's eligible.
Stud. I wonder where he just entered the portal, too, so I wonder where he's going.
Fletcher's a beast. Now, what was the scuff at the end? What was that all about?
Probably him just being upset and Indiana talking crap.
Supposedly, the Indiana player was talking smack about Fletcher's father, who has passed. And I don't think anything's been said as to what exactly was said, but one of the coaches come out and said that that's what he was talking about, Fletcher's dad.
Okay. But regardless, 21 carries, 110. I mean, Miami was moving the ball. It really was a good game. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Oh, it was a great game from start to finish.
Honestly, I mean, if you have a game that's 27-21, you can see up here they were up 10-0 going into halftime, and then Miami scored the 14 in the fourth quarter. If you give me a game that is really can be determined on the last drive, and they're on the opponent's side of the field. Here's the thing I have a problem with Beck's throw right there. What are we doing? He had a minute and 10 to go.
Throw it out of bounds. Throw it towards the inbounds line. So the only play that's made is out of bounds or your receiver makes a catch.
I was thinking they're going to drive about 5-7 yard passes here, a couple of them.
Yeah. You had plenty of time to work it that way.
And he didn't. He went for it, and it was vastly underthrown. But Indiana, guys, it's just amazing to see such a turnaround like that.
Mm-hmm.
Second team ever to go 16-0.
I mean, I can't even explain it. Like the whole year I kept doubting them. I kept thinking, well, when is it going to be? When they went and played Oregon, I thought, well, Oregon's going to take care of business. They won that game. I thought, well, maybe an outlier. Then they beat Ohio State. Okay. And then they smashed Alabama. They smashed Oregon. Oh.
Yep.
Curt Cignetti, guys.
He's good. He's a program changer.
I mean, and what's his? I saw his contract got bumped up, right?
Yeah, because
it should. It should.
This is the best all-time turnarounds in sports. They rank him number 1. Fox Sports does. You guys agree with this?
Oh, absolutely.
God, that Dallas Cowboy turnaround was pretty good, though. I mean, not
to be a Cowboys fan, but absolutely no. I mean, that was phenomenal what they did.
I mean, all the NFL ones on there are pretty. Good turnarounds.
You could look at this. You could look at this one and say, okay, what were they before then? Indiana's been known as a basketball school for years.
That's true.
If I had a vote for something, the one that I could argue with it would be that 1999 St. Louis Rams, because remember they did it with the guy that didn't even plan on being their quarterback.
Yeah.
And they
that's the case.
They became the best offense maybe in NFL history. It's just
greatest show on turf. But like I said, I mean, this Indiana was known as a basketball team for years. their football team. I mean, I could probably think of one NFL player just right off the top of my head that even came from Indiana.
Yeah. They've won
How many-
six. They won six
how
games
many-
this year against AP top 25 teams. They have 6 wins in their all-time history
Well,
against AP
and
top
that's
25
that's
teams.
where I'm going with it. You know, I mean, I think who was it? Antoine Randall is Indiana Hoosier, I believe.
Kyle Schwarber, come on, guys.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking, obviously football, their program, there was not one, you know, I mean, you've got a guy who, bet on himself to leave as an assistant for Nick Saban to take a toilet bowl job, goes down and wins, takes another job, wins, I mean, every place he's gone since he left Alabama, he's won. Yeah. And this in 2 years, I mean, obviously last year had a phenomenal season, and I bet you most people think, it's 1 year wonder. I mean, they can't do it again.
I ain't betting against
They can't do it again. There's no way anybody can bet against this guy. This guy, and I said it last week, I believe, the guy's reaction, he don't react to anything on the sideline. He's even keeled no matter what the deal is. He don't overreact at all. I mean, you might see him yell at a ref, but what coach doesn't? But when it comes to the team and the play calling and things, the decisions that need to be made, this guy is unfazed.
So if you guys can see this, I mean, the highest win percentage by FBS head coach since 2000. Now, I know he doesn't have a lot of games compared to some of the others, and Lanning doesn't either, but 45-6 is still pretty stinking impressive, man.
Pretty good.
And and you look at the teams here. I mean, look at the teams. You're talking about, look at these juggernauts, Indiana, and then Ohio State, Oregon, and then you got Florida/Ohio State, and then you got Georgia.
Yeah.
And Indiana. I mean, you want to talk about something that sticks out like a sore thumb. Hence our thumbnail, Indiana national champs in football. It's just, it's wild to say, but dang it, it's exciting.
Well, I mean, how many top recruits, whether it be out of high school or in the portal, I'm going to Indiana. I'm going to be a Hoosier.
Well,
no, if you put this list in front of me, I'm going to be a Duck, a Bulldog, a Gator, a Buckeye. I'll take any of those teams over that. A Hoosier. Why would you go to Indiana?
That's how he did it, is the transfer portal.
That's what I'm saying.
He brought in a lot of good players. I mean, he's one that bought into it, said, hey, this is the way I'm going to win right away. This is the way I'm going to get across the people. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to hit this portal. He brought most of his James Madison crew over from Mendoza, came over from California. He is one of the coaches that's bought into it and probably going to continue to ride that train until it fails on him.
Speaking of Mendoza, how could you not root for this dude?
Oh, I love this kid.
I don't know what he'll turn out in the NFL. He might not be anything.
Great college story, but if I'm a team with the fun pick, I'm trading away because I just don't know if his game translates to the NFL.
I don't know either, but it's just the story behind his parents and the way he's just
his mom and
Miami not taking him on as a walk. Everything
reminds me kind of like of a Ken Dorsey, Chris Winkie, Josh Heupel type in the college. Great in the college level and stuff like that. But I mean,
and the guy he doesn't do anything flashy. He is not he's not going to come out and light up the scoreboard by any means, throw for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns or any of that stuff like you see in a lot of these big time college quarterbacks. But the guy doesn't really make many mistakes. I mean, he is the poster child for a game manager. And sorry, but that's what you want in a quarterback. And I said it when Tim Tebow was in the NFL, I'd take 11 Tim Tebows on my team any day of the week. You give me 11 guys that are going to do the right thing every time, and they're doing it for the right reason, for the team, I'm going to take them all day long. And that's what this guy is. He's more about his team than he is anything else.
Yeah.
Now, does it translate to the NFL? Probably not.
What he does have going for him is he's got the height. I just don't know if he has talent per se. I know this is misleading. You can look over here and see the 3,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, 6 picks, 90.3 quarterback rating. And please don't bash me, Indiana fans or college football fans. Schedule can have a little bit to do with that. I mean, they didn't play necessarily the toughest. They did play some tough teams, but look what he did against the tougher teams. What did he do against Ohio State? Do you remember?
No,
It
wasn't nothing crazy.
It was a
So,
17
here it is.
game or 17-13.
15-23, 222 with the touchdown interception. Okay. Then Alabama, 14 of 16, 192, three tutties, but didn't have to do much there. They dominated. Oregon, 17-20, 177, 5 tutties. Again, they dominated. Miami, 16-27, 186. You know, like you said, he's kind of a really good game manager as far as I'm not going to turn the ball over.
He takes what the defense gives him, does not lose the game, and will go win the game if he has to put it on his shoulders. But he's not putting his team in a position where, hey, I'm pressing, I'm making too many mistakes to try to get us over the top, which would be like a quarterback we talked later about. But he just, he manages the game very well.
Oregon, right there, the first time they played, 20 of 31, 215, a tutty and interception. I mean, his team's really, really good. So it's hard to say. But like you said, I don't know if it translates to the NFL. I'll root for it. I like the kid. I really do. I'll root for it. I just don't know if it will. What do you think?
What if he decides to come back?
Oh, he could, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this Indiana team, where do they rank as far as this is ranking the last 10 college football national champions, according to this website? Do you agree with this list for the last 10?
Last 10?
Mm-hmm.
You have to say LSU for the last 10, right? I mean,
LSU is, I think one of those Clemson teams is rated too low. They're very talented. Trevor Lawrence had a lot of good NFL players and stuff like that. Indiana, sorry. Very good, but I would probably put the Trevor Lawrence Clemson team above them.
Yeah.
And the Alabama
It's
team,
tough, man.
Alabama team is very good. Yeah.
It's you look at it, and yes, like you said, the schedule could play a part of the 16-0. We all know that, right?
Yeah.
The regular season just is what it is. But I can't penalize them for something that the players have no control over when it comes to the schedule, because when it came down to playoff time and playing what was supposed to be the best of the best, these guys did it, and they did it in fashion. And to me, it's one of the best stories in college football in several years. I'm okay with them being 3. It's kind of, like Mosby was pointing out, the Clemson team with Trevor Lawrence and, Farrell and all those guys, they were phenomenal. They were really good. But they had so much talent that they were almost expected to win.
This would be a fine bracket.
That's why I'd put them ahead of Indiana's, because of talent-wise, they're probably the second most talented team on this list behind the LSU team.
So the talent, yes, the talent level, absolutely. What I'm talking about is what they've done in the playoffs with the. You could say one of the less talented rosters, but obviously they were really good all the way through, front to back, on defense and offense, special teams, and everything, or they wouldn't have been here.
So the 2014 Ohio State and Indiana, they're probably higher on this list because they played in a 12-team playoff, or these other ones only played in 4-team playoff. So
you can't really,
if LSU was in a 12-team playoff, they were going to beat everybody. Yeah, they would have beat everybody by 40. That Clemson team, if they were in a 12-team playoff, they'd beat everybody by 20 plus. So you can't really punish these other teams because Indiana and Ohio State got more games to play. So, but just, Indiana's a very, very second team ever to go 16-0. I think it was 1989 or 68 Yale Bulldogs, baby. Which I joke all the time that if those Ivy League schools with the NIL deal now, if they some of those billionaire alumni that got it wanted to get serious about football, they can be top dog again.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you ain't even joking.
Now we had talked about this previously and Mr. Unathletic had even mentioned the Raiders should try to go after it. And I think wasn't it Mosby and I agreed on this that I don't see him going to the NFL. I don't think he would sniff it. And he even said this. I'm not an NFL guy. I made that decision a long time ago. I've always been a college football guy.
Yeah. If there had been any inkling of him being an NFL guy, he would have took a position coach in the NFL or a coordinator job in the NFL at some time. But he's always took those type of jobs in the college level and worked his way up. I mean, it's just some guys are college lifers. I mean,
you know, my favorite thing about him probably. Did you guys see the thing about he eats the same Chipotle?
Oh yeah, every day,
burrito bowl every day.
Every day. It's accumulated so many points.
He's spent over $5,000 on Chipotle. That's all he eats. Same order. It doesn't picture. He's just a beast. Look at him.
I mean,
creature of
listen,
habit.
He eats the same Chipotle every day, and he drink now for the rest of his being will drink the same beer because he just had a local Indiana brewery give him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He's free beer. He's taken care of.
I love it, man. And did you see his tweet by his daughter too?
Oh yeah, like something about "Are you happy?" And like one tweet, he's like,
Madison.
No. He's like, no. And then she posted the same thing of her text message to after the championship. Are you happy now? And he's like, hell yeah, something like that.
So lastly,
That's
congratulations, funny. Indiana. Very fun year. I'm very excited to see where it goes from here. And Cignetti, you are Mr. Impossible, but you are the real deal. And that is great.
Real quick, for all you haters on TikTok and everybody else that told me, hey, wait till they win a championship. We didn't wait very long. Now, do we? We didn't have to wait. Guess what? I said he is the reason why they will be in the playoffs, is one of the greatest coaches, and the reason why he wins the national championship. And thank you.
Do you think he's the best coach in college football? Find
me a better one. Find me a coach that's going to come to a program and do what he did in 2 years. Find me one.
That'd be another day for another topic. But
yeah, we might want to say
because
that topic.
Hey, we're not talking. Let's go hire Ryan Day to take over a stacked Ohio State team. We're not talking. Oh, let's go hire Kirby Smart to a Georgia who's got all the money in the world and can get any recruits they want. Let's not talk about that.
Let me ask
Let's
you
talk
this,
about
John.
a guy that went to an unknown program, a non-existent program.
If it wasn't the NIL era, would he have the same success?
Probably not.
Then Ryan Day's had the same success in NIL, non-NIL.
They have the history. No,
Dabo.
Because they already had the money. The SEC, the Big Ten, all those, they've already got the money. Indiana didn't have crap. That's why their program was non-existent.
What conference is Indiana in? You just said their conference, that they already had all the money.
But where's the money going? It wasn't going to Indiana.
Well, it wasn't going to basketball. They haven't been good at basketball for a while either.
No. But that's what they're known for. But yes, again, find me another coach that goes to a non-existent football program and wins this quick. You won't. So yeah, I mean, he's great. That I think we could talk about that a big long topic. Absolutely. At another time. We're going to move on to the NFL, and we're going to go to this game right here, and the Seattle Seahawks absolutely knocked the barn doors off of the San Francisco 49ers. Did the 49ers even show up?
I do believe I called this as the only blowout of the week and nailed it right on the head.
People were giving you kudos too, man.
They said Mose knew, which I did.
Mose knew. Listen, it was going to catch up at some point, guys. I mean, they had way too many injuries. The story was great. I know we were had high hopes and thought, hey, we can do it. I watched the Seattle Seahawks just 3 weeks ago play them and completely dominate them. The scoreboard didn't show how bad they dominated. So there was no way I thought the Niners would even have a chance. And that was the case.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a sad showing. Obviously, a shell of themselves were the 49ers. And I hate it because, it's one of those things when a team has so much talent and the coaching staff is there. I mean, obviously with Salah and he's gone now. But anyway,
Where do
so
you
much
rank?
talent.
Where do you rank Kyle Shanahan as a coach?
Dude, I mean, with what he's done, he's got to be in the top 10. I would say he's a top 10 coach in the NFL. Yeah, I mean, there's talent there, but that dude has won with injuries. He's won, with and without McCaffrey. Doesn't have a number one receiver. Defenses was a shell of themselves, let alone. But that was, I mean, kudos to Robert Salah there and the defensive staff. But I'd say Shanahan's a top 10 coach in the NFL right now as it sits.
So, with that being said, let's go over the stats here. And we can go quickly here, but they couldn't do much. It was 15 for 27, 140 with one pick for Brock Purdy. And then rushing 27 rushes, 108 yards. And over here on this side, Sam Darnold, 12 for 17, 124, kind of a Mendoza-esque performance. Didn't really need to do much with the touchdown, but Kenneth Walker
just give the ball to Walker.
Well,
they're fine. They fine. And I say this, hopefully Charbonnet gets healthy and comes back strong. But Kenneth Walker finally got the bulk of the load. The guy is talented, or he wouldn't be where he's at and drafted where he was. But golly,
there's not much to say here. We know we didn't think it would be. I didn't think it'd be this bad, but
the drought continues. That's the only bright spot the Cowboys have is that the Niners Super Bowl drought is longer than Dallas Cowboys.
Two of the most storied programs ever, and they haven't won one since the 90s. That's wild to even think about. It's just wild, man. So there you go. There was that game, Seattle with the 49ers. I don't know if you want to talk any more about that. I don't.
There's not much more to talk about.
Let's go to this game. This one was really fun. This one was incredible.
Yeah, Los Angeles Rams.
Well, I did the NFC. Los Angeles Rams 20 and the Chicago Bears 17. And hey, I'm excited for the Bears because people still didn't know whether they could believe them or not. And I was that guy all the way until this game. I thought, man, I got to quit. I've got to quit doubting the Bears because they seem to be pretty good. And that game, guys, I mean, there's some talking points here. Number one, and we're going to get into it. Let me before we get into that, because you guys are going to go at it here. The pass that Caleb Williams threw. Okay, I'm just going to give you my personal opinion. I don't think it was that ball was in the air forever. That was a lob. That was a Hail Mary. The Rams fell asleep. I don't know what they were doing. They just left him open in the corner. That was a lob. But regardless, he had to scramble. He had to lob it up. So, I couldn't do that, obviously.
No.
But it made for great drama at the end. But what I want to say is I think Ben Johnson made a mistake by not getting some points a couple times. What do you guys think?
Well, it goes to what I talked about last week when the coaching matchup was John thinks Ben Johnson hangs the moon. Was Ben Johnson, very good coach, had a great year, blah, blah, blah. Did not inherit an empty cupboard. Caleb Williams is the number one pick for a reason. They had those receivers, first round picks. They're there for a reason. DeAndre Swift, great running back for a reason. I mean, so great. They made some change for offensive linemen. So he didn't inherit a cut. It's not like he took over the Tennessee Titans offense. But when it came down to the crucial decision making, which if we want to go back and say it, I said that's going to be a key matchup is which coach makes the better decisions. And like Ben just said, Ben Johnson made a couple crucial mistakes by leaving points on the field by trying to go for it, and they didn't get it. And then Sean McVay stuck to it. He even came out and said, I kind of put myself in bad positions that time, but you know what? They stuck to it. Didn't go crazy, didn't go forward in their own side of the field, nothing like that. Just stuck to it. Played good defense. My defense is playing outrageous. My running back's playing really good. We're not going to try to push the ball down the field. We're going to change. We don't have to be exotic today because we can do this and it's enough to win. So the coaching experience, the coaching knowledge, blah, blah, blah. Sean McVay, been there, done that, is why I said last week he's the better coach and everything. It came out into this in play because Ben Johnson, probably in those decisions, felt a little bit of pressure. We got to do this. We got to do this, which I understand it. We got to do this. We got to try to put this game away. We got to try to get ahead right here. Well, it backfired because you left points on the board that would have won you the game.
John, you have anything to say there?
Did Ben Johnson feel pressure, or is that just the NFL now? The NFL is if you go back and look at the 4-point or the fourth down attempts, punting is becoming less and less of a thing in the NFL. The percentages is up, or they're up, and it doesn't matter what the analytics say or where they're at on the field. They're going for it on fourth down. Obviously, he just came from a very aggressive coaching staff in the Detroit Lions when Campbell does nothing but go for fourth downs. And you could say, oh, that wins them games and that loses them games. But at the end of the day, you're out there to try and win a game. I do like how before you started talking, you tried to justify your point by building up the talent on the offense of the Bears, which is fine because they are good, right? But when you're comparing Williams to Stafford, yeah, okay. Hey, Williams has only got 2 years in. He's got some growing to do, but Stafford. He's probably a first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, you can't compare anything to what the Bears have. And that's why I said that Ben Johnson is a better coach, only because he's doing a lot more with less. I didn't interrupt you. You stopped.
Oh, no, that's why I'm raising my hand. That's why I'm raising my hand because the Bears receiving room is deeper than the Rams receiving room. It is.
You could say it's deeper.
Luther
you could say it's got. You could say it's deeper.
Luther Burden, Romazunde, DJ.
Here, let me
Moore,
finish.
deeper.
Since the middle of my conversation interrupted the beginning of yours, go right ahead.
It's deeper.
Okay. It didn't. Sorry.
Nothing more to say. John was wrong again. Another thing John was wrong about, and we're going to go talk about some
this
more
is this is when somebody uneducated on the subject can't have a conversation because he wants to keep over talking and interrupting. So what I was saying was, you could say that the Bears are deeper and they're talented in that position, but they don't compare to the two guys on the field who are difference makers in Adams and Puka. You take them off the field, well, you get what you get. But what they do have are two really good tight ends.
2 catches for 24 yards for Devontae Adams. Big difference maker there. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. Take him off the field and see how big of a difference he is. Him being on the field helps him. He doesn't have to have stats to be a big help on the field.
He added 24 yards to their total on the field.
You know, number one, guys like this don't have to actually catch the ball to make a difference.
No, that's crazy. I didn't know he was the number one guy. I thought that was Puka Nacua. But hey.
There are two number one receivers in the NFL right here. You put Devontae Adams on any other team, minus probably 2 or 3, he's the number one receiver. Okay?
But I got one more question for you. Where would you rank Sean McVay in the hierarchy of head coaching?
Hey, he's a top 10 coach in the NFL, 100%. I'm not saying he's a horrible coach.
Where would you put Ben Johnson?
I mean, going off the 1 year that he had, you could probably say he's top 10 coach. What other coach has done this in Chicago? Nobody.
Matt Nagy made the playoff. Matt Nagy made the playoffs with Mitch Trubisky.
And look at the defense he was provided. Look at the defense.
No one's done this in Chicago. Matt Nagy made the playoffs.
And where's Matt Nagy now?
Lost by a double doink. Well, how do we know Ben Johnson in 3 years ain't going to be out of the job?
Okay. If we're playing the if games, if my aunt had something, well, she'd be my uncle. But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is Ben Johnson just did a whole lot more with a lot less. You can't tell me, because the Rams have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They have one of the best offenses front to back in the NFL. They got one of the best overall rosters in the NFL, hands down. You can't say the same for the Bears.
The Bears have one of the best offenses in the league, John. They got.
I just said
they got
the Rams have
galore.
one of the best rosters in the NFL. Rosters. That means front to back.
Caleb Williams, first round pick, first overall pick.
Okay.
Loveland, first round pick. Roma Zunde, first round pick. DJ Moore, first round pick.
Will Levis is a first round pick.
Luther Burden, a lot wanted to be a first round pick. Very talented. I mean, DeAndre Swift, Coleman, they're loaded on offense. So you're making it seem like Ben Johnson took an empty cupboard and turned it into gold. It's like now if he would go do that with the Jets, I would agree with you. If he go do that with the Titans, I'd agree with you. You know, maybe even if he did that with the Dallas Cowboys, I'd agree with you because they're garbage too. But so he didn't inherit a empty cupboard. He didn't.
Let me ask you this one question. If you are a head coach, if you're being interviewed for a head coaching position, and the two teams it's coming down to are the Bears and the Rams, given these two rosters, where are you going?
Well, since Stafford's probably at the end of his career.
No.
I'm
going to
take the Bears because they got the quarterback that's going to be there for the next 15 years. Yes,
there is no head coaching candidate that is going to pick the Bears roster over the current Rams roster.
Yeah, they are because they're going to take the team that they're going to know. They know they're going to have the quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years. Yes, they would. Any coach that's going to say, well, you know, I might get Stafford for one more year. Yeah,
You've got Stafford for at least 3 more years. That's what a head coach is looking at. You do.
Stafford might be done this year.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
Oh, I guarantee it. John, if they win a Super Bowl, I guarantee he's going out like John Elway. I'm done. Out.
That dude is still – he is not – I promise he's not retiring.
He's
there is no coach no candidate ever picking the Bears roster over the Rams roster.
Ben,
sorry.
If you're a head coach and these are your two options, what is the number one thing you're looking at? You're looking at your quarterback. Who am I going to have longer?
At the full roster.
Who am I going to have longer? Because if Stafford's 37 years old, let's say he plays 2 more years, John. After those 2 years, because I don't expect to suck in those 2 years, so I'm not getting a top pick to get a good quarterback in the draft. So after those 2 years, he leaves me. I'm empty-handed at quarterback. Well, then let's say I go 4-12 or 4-13. Well, I'm getting fired. Or I'm going to take the team that has a quarterback that's going to be there for the next 10 to 15 years. That's most NFL coaches are going to pick the Bears because of the future, because of their youth.
No, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to take the roster that's going to get me through the first contract. That would be the Rams, because I'm going to have Matt Stafford for the next 2 or 3 years, more than likely. I've got a top 10 defense. I've got a top 10 offense. I can go draft or sign a free agent, draft a rookie quarterback, or sign a free agent quarterback for when Stafford retires. Now, are you going to get Stafford-like stats? Probably not. But guess what? If you put a team around him, you don't need a Matt Stafford to win games, boys.
So
they have the team to do it.
You don't have a top 10 defense. They're ranked 15th or 16th.
I'll say this. They were very vocal on this whenever they hired their defensive coordinator, the Bears did. They basically told this guy, we can't spend money on our defense yet because we got to surround people with around Caleb. Okay. And Preston said until the end of regulation, this is a pretty boring game. But that's going to change at some point. Okay. They're going to start spending some money on the defense. Okay. If you were going to ask me who's set up better going forward, it's going to be hard for me not to pick the Bears because of the youth.
The youth. I'm telling you. And then think about this. Think about the division. I know they got the Packers and Vikings and who am I missing? Lions. Okay, but look at the West. Loaded right now. Seahawks are looking like just ridiculous right now. And then you got the Niners. So I don't know. That's a tough one. But if I was going to go for the field, well, I'll just say this. Which team would I rather have in moving forward in Madden? I'm taking the Bears. The Bears. Which team would you rather have moving forward in our Dynasty Football League? The Bears.
Yeah. So, but you're right. Instant right now, John, it's hard to pick against the Rams. It is.
That was my point.
I love Kyron Williams. I love the way he runs. He ran so hard in that game, man.
But NFL coaches aren't signed to 1-year deals; they're signed to 5-year contracts.
Yeah, and they're not signed to 10 or 12-year deals neither. You're trying to win in the first 3 to get through the first 5-year contract.
So just curious, who do you, if you had to pick the top 3 coaches, John, who do you think the top 3 NFL coaches are right now?
Man, that's going to be tough. I mean, I don't think, like, obviously Sirianni's one, but I don't think I think that's just more the team. Andy Reid would be at the top, probably one of the top 3. And that's just out of respect for what the guy's done. I don't give a crap that he's with the Chiefs. I mean, he did it in Philly as well. Golly, it's tough because you've got so many good teams and guys that you could say is top 10. I would almost go out on a limb, and I know this is crazy, is put Kyle Shanahan in the top 3. Okay. I say Shanahan would probably be there. Let's see, and bro, I mean, you could argue for Mike McDonald there in Seattle. You could have an argument for Sean McVay. It's going to be tough. O'Connell or whatever there in Minnesota.
O'Connell, yeah. Who would you say, Mosby?
Sean McVay, Andy Reid, and I am a big fan of Matt LaFleur.
See, he's on my short list, but I can't buy into him yet. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, yeah. I mean, with that, it was a great game. I mean, to wrap this part up, it was a great game, especially at the end, as Preston alluded to there. But yeah, the Bears are trending out. Hey, if you're a Bears fan, you should be excited, man. I mean, I think they jumped the gun big time. I didn't think they'd be this good this quick. So
no.
AFC, we had the Patriots versus the Texans. This was sloppy. Oh my gosh, it was sloppy.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I don't even. How many? Let's see. How many turnovers?
I think a total of 7.
You know, Drake May led the NFL in fumbles. Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He turned it over twice in this game, didn't he?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. They had a chance to go just put it away. But
turned over a couple times against the Chargers. Like, he's going to have to protect the ball.
Drake May, 16 of 27. Let me switch over here so you guys can see this right here. 28 to 16. Drake May was 16, 27, 179 with 3 tutties and 1 interception.
And then, that sounds like a good game.
And then 4 fumbles. 4 fumbles with 2 lost. CJ Stroud, 20 of 47, 212 with a touchdown and 4 picks. Guys, there was a time right there, probably the second quarter, I was like, what are we doing? You might
They were bad.
Move.
Those interceptions were bad.
They're terrible. The passes were horrible.
Yes.
His ball was not anywhere close.
Well, and then the run game got shut down, so I don't know if he was feeling the pressure of that. Would they carry it 23 times for 40-something yards?
22 carries, 48 yards, 2.2 a carry.
So, like, he might have been feeling the pressure there, like, oh, my gosh. But, you know, he made a mistake because you got a great defense, but you turned the ball over 4 times. Well, you just put your defense in horrible position.
And Texans, listen, the Texans defense wasn't like they were bad. 79 passing yards, only 105 rushing yards, 32 carries is what New England had. They had to overcome 4 interceptions and a lost fumble.
Yep.
And only give up 28. That's pretty impressive.
That's one of the worst playoff performances probably in a long time.
And now it's got people questioning, is CJ Stroud the guy in Houston?
Is he the future? Yep.
I mean, there's Houston, Texas fans, especially from Stirring the Pot podcast, that Houston, Texas fan there. He's even saying, he posted a video the other day saying, I don't know if he's the future, guys. What do you think? I mean, is he?
How could he be? Because I'll put it to I'll just put it like this: if this was Josh Allen or Dak Prescott, everybody'd be calling for his job. And I'm not talking just the Texan fans; they'd be talking about how horrible of a quarterback he is, how horrible of he doesn't even need to be on a roster. If this was Dak and Josh Allen, they're already fired by all the other NFL fans.
Are you sure about that with Josh Allen?
100%, especially you. Because, and I'll just put it to you like this. This is a quarterback who had 3 turnovers at one point in the first half, had 3 turnovers, and was still only down by 4 points. The defense had only given up 7 points off of 3 turnovers. That's what happens when you have a top 10 defense, or may I mind you, one of the best defenses in the league.
So I'm done talking about this game, but I'm glad John said that last point, that if this is Josh Allen or someone else, that they'd be crucified, because that is 100% is what not been happening. Because here we go, Josh Allen, 2 interceptions,
Please
2 fumbles lost. CJ Stroud, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble loss. National media on Monday, is CJ Stroud the guy? The Texans need to move on. National media on Monday, Josh Allen's the best quarterback I've seen the last 50 years. Josh Allen's the best football player on the planet. Josh Allen is the greatest quarterback to play that position. Blah, blah, blah. So what is the difference between his performance and his 4 turnovers, which 2 of them were in the first half?
I just stated it, but
and
you can't listen.
2 of them turned into 6 points, or 3 of them turned into 9 points for the Broncos, and 2 of them were in the first half, and 1 of them was one of the worst plays I've seen at quarterback position right there at the end of the half. You fumble the ball and give it to them with 2 seconds left, they get a kick and field goal. It wasn't his defenses, because his defense, after 3 of his turnovers, shut the Broncos down. But he turned it over in scoring position for the Broncos to score to get 9 points. So on Monday, no. For them to say, oh, this was Josh Allen, that is 100% false, because all you've heard this week is how the Bills have failed Josh Allen, how all this blah, 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 he's the best there is. Oh, my gosh, it feels so bad. No, I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Josh Allen failed the Bills. Why is he the only one? Why is Josh Allen the only one that took accountability? I got to give it to that. I love Josh Allen. I'm not a Josh Allen hater, but I'm sick and tired of him getting a pass when you're supposed to be the best player, blah, blah, blah. He's the only one that took accountability. That's the reason why he was crying. That's the reason why he was crying, because he knew he screwed his team. He knew he lost the game with his 4 turnovers and those wide open passes that he missed that would have won the game. This was his year. No Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar, no Joe Burrow. But guess what? Like I said, still no Super Bowl. Didn't even get out of the second round. Here we go. If you think Josh Allen is the best player on the planet, here's Josh Allen updated. He is no playoff wins against Patrick Mahomes. 0. Okay? Never led the NFL in any major passing stat. Never first team All-Pro, which goes to the proof point last year. Mr. Lamar should have been the MVP because he got voted first team All-Pro. But you know what? The media felt so sorry for Josh Allen. Oh my gosh, he's never got an MVP vote. Let's vote him MVP. It's pathetic. The love fest with the media and Josh Allen. He's never made a Super Bowl, ever. Okay. Now, I hear people all the time, oh, he's the best playoff quarterback there is. Yeah, maybe true for the wild card round, because guess what his record is after the wild card? He's 2-6 in the playoffs after the wild card. 1 playoff game winning drive. 1 playoff game winning drive, John. 1. He's been in a lot of playoff games. He's had 1 playoff game winning drive. You know who's number two all time on the list? Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Already number 2 on the list. Okay. Now, Patrick Mahomes is already number 2 on the list on almost every playoff statistic. Okay. 1 road playoff win, and that was this year in Jaguars, and that took Trevor Lawrence's receiver dropping a freaking ball that turned into a turnover. You know what Patty did a couple years ago? Had no guy that had over 1,000 yards total yards on offense at all. No receiver over 1,000 yards, no running back over 1,000 yards. Patrick Mahomes has never had a running back who rushed for over 1,000 yards. He went on the road to your Josh Allen, the number 2 seed in the AFC, beat him at home. went on the road to the number one team in the AFC and the number one defense that year, the Baltimore Ravens, beat him. Then he went to the Super Bowl and played the number one team in the NFC and beat them. So Josh Allen, no playoff win. 0 overtime wins for Josh Allen. But he's supposedly the best quarterback there is. But like you just said, C.J. Stroud, horrible performance. Oh, are we questioning the guy? Why aren't we questioning if Josh Allen's the guy? Because he turned it over 4 times. 4 times. That is almost, when your quarterback does that, it is almost impossible to win. Almost impossible to win. There's no more excuses for Josh Allen. You had a top 3 offensive line. You had a top 10 total defense. You had the second easiest record in the NFL this year, and you had the running back that led the NFL in rushing, and you didn't get it done. You didn't get it done. They're the first team to ever win a playoff game in 6 years in a row and not win the Super Bowl. The other 3 teams that done it, they won 3 of them, Patriots, Cowboys, and the Chiefs. So I'm sick of this. Josh Allen, great. You know what he is? He's a great fantasy quarterback. But when it matters in real life, he doesn't get the job done, and he's not going to get it done. I don't think he is ever going to win it. You know what? Freaking Dan Marino got there early. If you don't, it's kind of a weird stat that if you don't win one or get there in the first 7 years, it usually never happens. Will never happen in your first 7 trips to the playoffs. It usually never happens. So, but let's listen to John spill how it's not Josh Allen's fault, how it's everybody else's fault besides Josh Allen's, and let's hear how John ignores the fact that he turned the ball over 4 times when 3 of those turnovers turned into 9 points, and then he overthrew 2 wide open receivers. So if those turn into touchdowns, game doesn't even go to overtime. You take those 9 points off the board, they win in regulation.
I'm gonna start this and preface this by saying, again, if my aunt had genitals, she would be my uncle. Because the one thing that I just heard you say was Josh Allen can't get it done, won't get it done, hasn't got it done, blah, blah, blah. You know what he has done?
Nothing. Hasn't got it done, John. Hasn't got it done. Tell me.
Did I say anything? Shut up.
Nothing.
Shut up. Shut up. You know what he did do? Yeah, he turned the ball over 3 times, blah, blah.
4. No, not 3. 4.
When it came down to it, you know what he did within the last couple minutes of the game?
He threw an interception in overtime.
Did he? Because I'm not talking about overtime, jackass.
And he overthrew Dalton Kincaid, who was wide open.
Again, folks, this is the pure definition of not being able to have an intelligent conversation.
No, I'm just telling you what he did. Intelligent and all this. I'm just telling you what he did.
Because he simply hates the fact that some people can actually prove him wrong, just like this.
Yeah, he ain't proving me wrong. Here's another good stat for you.
No.
Talks
Mute
about the
this
Bills
jackass's mic.
Since 2020. Here we go.
We've been doing this for how many months now? He doesn't know how to have a conversation.
Scored the most points
in the NFL. Go ahead. This is the Mosby Show. Go ahead.
I've allowed since he don't have any help. I'm just going to tell you. Has scored the most points since 2020. Has scored the most points in the NFL. Have allowed the fewest points. Have the best record and have the best point differential. But you know
keep what? Keep Googling while you're sitting there. Keep Googling.
It's not Googling, John. It's true stats. I sent these all to you.
Oh, it's AI. Either one.
It's all stats. Because you talked about, well, he showed up when it mattered. No, he didn't. He threw an interception in overtime. How's that showing up when it matters?
Because he put the team ahead with a minute left in the game, and the defense gave up the fucking points.
He didn't put the team ahead.
Overtime.
They put the team ahead. I'm pretty sure they kicked the field goal to tie the game, right? To go to overtime. But yeah, you're right. He showed up when it mattered because he threw an interception in overtime.
What happened with the Chiefs?
What happened with the Chiefs?
What happened with the Chiefs?
Oh, I don't care.
That's what I'm
talking about Josh Allen.
Go back to.
Jesus.
If you would shut up and let somebody
when
talk,
it comes to football. So dumb when it comes to football.
Really?
All right, John.
Because did they not?
John, go ahead. Tell me your point.
Did they or did they not, again, be down against the Chiefs when it mattered, and Josh Allen drove the field and scored against the Chiefs with, 13 seconds left on the clock? Yeah, they did. Guess what? He showed up when it mattered as a quarterback of the team to put them ahead. What failed them in that game? Oh, sheesh, the defense. Cool. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense made some good plays. Hey! Good for them. Then let's go to this game. Okay. Yeah. let's throw multiple interceptions, turn the ball over, blah, blah, blah. But what did he do in the second half? Put them on their back, kept them in the game, brought them back, tied up the game, went to overtime. Yeah, he threw an interception. But guess what? That's trying to make a play down the field. That's what happens when you have to throw the ball 80,000 flipping times to score points because you know your defense can't stop nobody.
So John said that he scored, right, to put him ahead. No,
Yeah.
he kicked the field goal
The
to go
Chiefs
over.
game.
No,
Dum-dum.
we're
This
not
is
talking
where
about-
you don't
Whoa,
listen.
Oh, now we want to go talk about a game that was like 5 years ago, but not the game that's at hand now that proves everything you said about Josh Allen is completely false.
Folks, look
Because-
at Mosby here. He can't hear because he's got his head in his phone. I said when we go back to
Here we go.
the game against the Chiefs,
here's a
when
great
it
stat for
mattered,
you.
what happened?
Here's a great stat for you because you're talking about when it matters. Josh Allen had the ball in his hands to win or tied the game in the final 3 games of his last 3 seasons. The Bills won 0-1-0 of those games. Didn't do it. Okay? Here we go. Josh Allen had the best quarter running back in the league. Had the best offensive line in the league, all by off of ratings. Okay? Josh Allen had the best pass defense, which they were. They rated number 1 in the NFL in pass defense, but you want to talk about how their defense sucks. Oh, no, didn't do nothing there. Okay? Here's who Josh Allen's beating.
They just gave up 33 points.
Denver's defense ranked number 1. They just gave up 30 points, but you don't hear them talk about that. No,
Why? Because he's the best freaking quarterback in the NFL.
You know why? Because Bo Nix made the plays when it mattered. Cost him his ankle injury, but he made the plays when it mattered.
So their defense.
Okay, so here we go. Here's who Josh Allen's beating the playoffs. A 40-year-old Phillip Rivers, Tyler Huntley, Mac Jones, Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, Bo Nix in Bo Nix's rookie year. Okay. Then Lamar Jackson, who's 3-5 in the playoffs, and Trevor Lawrence. So, yeah. Okay. So it's
no.
We got more.
Take Trevor Lawrence off that list.
Here we go.
Take Trevor Lawrence off that list because you said that the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence would beat the Bills. Take him off that list.
It's going to take Josh Allen at least 8 playoff appearances to reach his first Super Bowl. It's never been done in NFL history. Every quarterback that has started the Super Bowl has done it in the first 7 playoff appearances. Okay? Oh, man. Oh, TJ Ward, who played in the NFL, me and you never did. He said everybody's feeling so bad for Josh Allen. Why? He's baffled. Because you know what? Because Josh Allen's the one that cost his team. He turned the ball over. That turned into 9 points. When he had the ball in his hand to go win the game, he missed a wide open Dalton Kincaid. Okay. Then he had the ball in overtime first. He turned it over. That in turn, all Denver had to do was get a field goal. But let's continue to talk and act like he is the best thing, and the Bills are failing him and all this stuff.
They are.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they are. Yeah,
and they're fixing to have him force a trade because he will probably be out if they don't hire Dable.
Why would you want Brian Dable?
So
that's who he wants.
That does bring this up. Was this warranted right here?
No, not at all.
It should have been.
I mean, the fact that he got fired and the GM got a promotion and a raise is a joke.
Because I think Sean McDermott's a good coach.
He's one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Pretty good.
I just, he was our defensive coordinator for Carolina, and when we were good, and he went over. He's been successful. So, I mean, why do you think they did this? Why do you think they axed him?
The scapegoat.
He's the fall guy?
Yeah.
But what's the main why? Like who?
Because they weren't going to get rid of Bean?
Well, because they got a quarterback that can't get the job done when it matters the most.
No, it's a front office. It's trying to pin the loss on someone else because they can't put a winning team on the field. That's just all there is to it.
Can't put a winning team on the field, but okay, yeah.
So let me ask you this. I mean, where's Sean going to go? I mean, is he not the hottest coach right now?
Hey, come back.
If I'm the Steelers, I'm throwing the bag at him.
Or come coach under Andy Reid again for a few years.
Yeah, he ain't doing that.
Come on.
He's going to take a head coaching job. There's too many big jobs or too many jobs open for him.
There's not any attractive jobs anymore. Cleveland's
The
not
Steelers are
attractive. No, they don't. They don't got a quarterback. Steelers ain't attractive.
Listen,
Cleveland's not attractive.
If I'm the Steelers,
Arizona's not attractive.
I'm
and
paying him, and I'm going
and
trading for Will Levis or somebody who is a young quarterback that they can groom into.
Now,
into a starting quarterback.
If you're going to do that, then you want to hire an offensive guy that can develop the quarterback.
That's why you hire a staff. That's why you hire a good offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. You hire a staff to do that.
But my question is, why do you want Brian Daboll, who's had one winning record,
That's who Josh Allen wants, and Daboll wants to go back there because, well, he was the OC there when they brought in Allen,
and they didn't win nothing then either.
They got a good relationship. That's who they want. Or that's who he wants. I mean,
well, there's another probably a way bigger storyline in this game than what we just went off on, and it's the simple fact that the second to last play, the Broncos lose their quarterback, and this is absolutely a travesty because they played their hearts out. I mean, it's a great game. They win the game. And then shortly after, I mean, he comes out and just announces out of nowhere that he fractured his ankle.
So I saw a thing, and it's great. It's like we're not in the playoffs, but somehow the Chiefs won twice on that day. Josh Allen crapped down his leg again, and Bo Nix just broke his ankle, which almost eliminates their chance of winning the Super Bowl.
So how long will he be out? Will he be ready for?
Oh, he should be ready for.
Yeah, he should be ready by the regular season. Yeah. It's just,
I mean, man,
it's just it's heartbreaking for him, heartbreaking for that team because you just won the game.
Yeah,
you're going to host the AFC Championship, and then one game away from the Super Bowl, and it's like, oh, your quarterback is out, your starting quarterback's gone.
Yeah, Preston said he said McDermott was Josh Allen's interpreter, fall guy.
Yes, he was, Preston. If Josh Allen is a Nike guy, I'd go ahead and cut him loose, Preston.
Yeah. So here's your quarterbacks, and I bet you wouldn't have picked these to start the year. I know that because we didn't.
No, not even close.
Darnold, Stafford, Drake May, and Stidham.
Stiddy, baby. Stiddy.
Hey, listen, he's about to throw for 300 this week, boy.
Now, that brings up the bracket, the updated bracket here. And you've got Denver versus New England, which is funny because we've already seen that before. You know, and what's the stat? New England and the Chiefs have been in the conference championship
last 15 years.
Yeah. Obviously without Tom Brady now, but and then you got the Seahawks versus the Rams, which is going to be another great game. They split in the regular season. But
the Rams Seahawks game, first time in NFL history that two teams will play in the playoffs where their first games were decided by 2 total points. Because I think each game was won by 1 point.
Wow. I didn't hear that. So do the Broncos have a chance?
With that defense, yes, because Drake May has been a little turnover happy this playoffs. They're going to have to ugly it up, and they're going to have to shut the run down and get after Drake May. But, if Drake May can protect the ball and, maybe one turnover or whatever and, keep under pressure, then I think the Pats will probably win it pretty easily. I don't know necessarily maybe a blowout, but maybe like a 10-point game because I think that Denver defense will keep it in. But what hurts Denver is their run game's not that very good. Not that good.
No. Stidham's going to help the run game though. He's pretty mobile on his feet. But the one thing, the one guy in this equation that I have faith in, that's probably the Broncos head coach, Sean Payton. You've got a guy who, he unlocked and I say unlocked the potential in Drew Brees there in New Orleans. I mean, the guy was always talented, but he was always hurt, and he definitely wasn't doing what he was doing in New Orleans neither. When he was there with the Chargers.
Well, Nick Saban may never went to Alabama if the Dolphins front office would have signed off on that physical for Drew Brees. Yeah, that was going to be his QB.
Well, freaking dumb because Drew Brees picked the Dolphins over the Cowboys because those were his final two teams.
Funny little cool story. I don't know if John's ever heard the story about Drew Brees and Sean Payton. That Sean Payton was so high, was one of the only guys that was so high on Patrick Mahomes. Like Brett Veach, the Chiefs general manager, and Sean Payton both said he's the best they've ever seen on tape, blah, blah, blah. Sean Payton tells a story that they went as far to tell Drew Brees that if this kid gets to us at 11, we're going to draft him. He'll be under you for a year, and then we're moving on with him. And then, so when they went to go meet with Patrick Mahomes or whatever, he told the staff, fly to different cities and drive in so people don't know who we're meeting in. But what he didn't know the whole time was that Brent Veach and Andy Reid did the same thing, privately meeting with Patrick Mahomes. Brent Veach is like, this is the best player I've seen on film, best player I've ever seen ever. Andy's like, come on, Brett, best you ever seen, blah, blah, blah. And then went and met with the guy and stuff and like that. And so then when the Chiefs made the trade to get up to number 10, which is another beautiful thing about this story, is who did they make that trade with? The Buffalo Bills.
Man.
And then when they made that trade, Sean McVay told his front office, call Marcus Lattimore and congratulate him on becoming a New Orleans Saint, because they knew they weren't getting Patrick Mahomes.
So the line is 4.5 for the Patriots. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, anything with a crazy good defense, I mean, you never know here. It could be.
What's the weather going to be like?
Let's see here. Looks like 25 degrees and sunny.
Sunny. Okay,
just cold.
So, yeah.
It's New England's used to it too. It's just going to be a cold game.
Yeah.
And of course, it is in the altitude.
Yep.
So, but regardless, Patriots should take this. If you guys had to make a prediction, what would your prediction be?
I would say Patriots 27-17. I think it'll be close, and the Patriots make a couple plays in the fourth quarter to pull it away to a 10-point game.
So 27-17 for the Patriots. What do you got, John?
I want to go the Broncos here, but I think it's going to be 24-21. Patriots.
I'm going to say Patriots 24-13. I think it's about. I don't think they're going to go about 24. Preston does make a pretty good point here, though.
Yes, he does.
2016 Final Four quarterbacks were Brady, Matt Ryan, Big Ben, and Rodgers. Is it just me, or is there a lack of legendary quarterbacks in the playoffs this year? Well, Matt Stafford is.
You got one.
But that's what happens whenever you don't have, when Mahomes isn't in it, or
Dak Prescott.
I wouldn't call Lamar legendary, but he's, Joe Burrow's one of the best in the league. But when you have so many quarterbacks that are the better ones in the league and they don't make it, you got opportunities
which even makes it look worse for Josh Allen, because this was his year. It wasn't set up any better for him than this year. And
Preston also said, I'm beginning to think that Mose likes Josh Allen.
Preston, believe it or not, I do. I think Josh Allen is great. If I didn't have Patrick Mahomes and I had a pick out of the quarterbacks in the NFL to take, he'd be my second option behind Joe Burrow. And trust me, I've had these conversations with Ben about Joe Burrow when they compare him to Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes has never had to be coddled or babied by the NFL or by the freaking media, because he set that standard from the very beginning. He's done it from the very beginning. He set that standard, and as Chiefs fans, we need to appreciate the standard that he's held to, because that is the standard. Everybody else, they're reaching for that. They're aiming for that, because. So instead of us getting mad as Chiefs fans, like, well, they're holding them to a high standard. Well, we should be grateful, because that just proves, and I feel like this playoffs has just proved more of his greatness. But I do like Josh Allen. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. I just don't know if it's ever going to get done for him.
So moving on to the Seahawks versus the Rams. We have a 53.9 matchup predictor for the Seahawks compared to the 46.1 for the Rams. It's a 2.5 spread for the Seahawks currently. The weather's going to be 44 degrees in Seattle, 5:30 game on January 25th. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about this one.
So
Now, they, like you said earlier, they played twice. Very, very close games.
21-19 and 38-37.
The way I've seen the Seahawks play recently, I'm trying not to get over. You have to hold your expectations back, right? You have to hold your emotions back because they absolutely look like the best team in the NFL right now. But the Rams roster, and they've proven it with the 2 games, they could absolutely upend the Seahawks, and nobody should be surprised about that. But what are your initial, John? We're going to start with you. What are your initial thoughts about this game?
You've got 2 really, really talented teams that are playing. I mean, obviously, really good football. But I'm going with a savvy veteran. The experience. I mean, you could say they both have weapons because JSN has obviously proven to be one of the top young wide receivers in the NFL this year. But I think it's going to come down to the defense. And for whatever reason, I trust the Rams defense a little better. I mean, they do get after the quarterback, and so does the Seahawks. I'm not saying that they don't, but man, if I'm throwing the ball to Puka and I'm throwing the ball to Devontae Adams and I got Kyron in the backfield and Blake Corum, running up the middle, I'm happy. And when I'm looking at this team, I think the loss of Charbonnet is bigger than what some may say, because obviously, Charbonnet's a little more of their, receiving back out of the backfield. They're forbid he's getting the bulk of the carries in the red zone. I mean, that's going to be a tough role to fill. So for that reason, I'm going for the Rams, and I think you're going to be looking at a 31-24 victory.
Okay, Mosby.
I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth game, and I think it's going to come down to quarterback in the fourth quarter and one that doesn't make the big mistake. But I think it's going to be more like this scoring and back and forth, kind of like that last game they played. And I got the Rams 35-31.
I don't think it's going to be as high a scoring game as you guys think. And why? Well, I am going to say because the Seahawks defense has really stepped up their game the last couple of weeks. And watching the Rams struggle, now I know it was cold, but they struggled against the Bears defense. And, the Panthers aren't the greatest. They scored 34 on the Panthers, but, obviously they were down 31-27, be a dead horse there. But I think the Seahawks are going to shut them down a lot more than they've given up in the season. So I don't necessarily think the Seahawks are going to, score 41 points, or I don't even think they're going to score in the 30s against the Rams. But with that being said, I think the Seahawks defense is going to be the difference. I will say 24 Seahawks to 20 Rams. 24-20 Seahawks is what I'm going to go there. Preston, what are you going to say? What is your prediction? I'm anxious to hear it. So yeah, there you go. There's the playoff predictor. If we were going to, so you guys have the Patriots and the Rams going to the Super Bowl. I have the Patriots and the Seahawks. So I have a rematch. Well,
too bad you don't have
Patriots and the Rams would be a rematch too, right? Yeah, 13-3 game.
13-3 game. Yeah, great Tom Brady put up a great performance that game.
Yeah, he did. He usually does. No, let's not get on that soapbox. Kind of secretly hoping Drake May goes ahead and wins one here, so I can say, "Oh, man, their franchise, they got together a little bit." Okay, well, Preston will be excited about this next portion because we finally have an Andruw Jones Hall of
Yes.
Fame inductee.
Yes. It's
He
about
is in.
freaking time.
He is in. Now, I know we've joked and argued with Brett Morgan back and forth about this, but you've got to put it like it is. Andruw Jones as a 62.7 WAR for people who believe in that. 434 home runs. He only batted 254. However, his defensive prowess. I mean, there was one stat there, and I don't have it on the top of my head, but he saved more runs saved than I think even Ozzie Smith did, if I'm not mistaken. But he wasn't getting in. Why do you think it took so long? What are your guys' opinions on this?
Well, I think
it's the era he played in.
Well, I don't know about that. I think it has a little bit to do with kind of what's wrong with baseball. And I know baseball lifers and stuff are going to disagree with me. I think just the way that the voting and stuff, and some people, I'll never vote for this, I'll never vote for that. It's just kind of wrong. I mean, the dude should have been in years ago. And I know Brett Morgan, I used to argue with him that he shouldn't have been in. I just did that to poke the bear. Because Andruw Jones, I remember growing up, there was TBS and WGN. You had the Braves and you had the Cubs. Well,
yeah.
Always turning the TBS. Andruw Jones saving plays, hitting a bomb. It's just it shouldn't have took this long. I think it's just the way that voting is for the MLB Hall of Fame. It's just there needs to be a change or there needs to be some of that old guard out and some of the new guard in, because it's just you don't see this in the NBA, you don't see this in the NFL. It's just the way that they vote for the Hall of Fame in MLB has just always been a little uppity. A little uppity is how I would describe it.
Yeah, 10 Gold Gloves in a row. I mean, he was just filthy in center field. He had a 51 home run season, 128 RBIs. That was in 2005. Another 41 home run, 129 RBI season. The dude could rake. Now, back in that era, like these batting averages in today's game, they wouldn't even blink an eye. They'd be like, 254, that's great. 337 on base, that's great. But back then, that was like, that's not great. But you look at these power numbers. You look at these, 4 or 5 seasons of over 100 RBIs. Look at all these 30 home run seasons, 51, 41. Mm-hmm. The dude was an incredible player. He was somebody you wanted. He had some swag to him. And
go ahead, finish.
He was not getting in the Hall. But I'm glad he is now. What were you going to say, John?
I was just going to say, and that's part of the reason why I said, I think the reason why he hasn't gotten in, yet up until now is because of the era he played in, because that was the, quote unquote steroid era. He wasn't hitting 50, 60 bombs a year, driving in 130, 140 RBIs. I mean, he was hitting in their eyes, a measly 30 home runs and driving in 90 to 110 RBIs. That wasn't nothing. It was one of those things where Jones was one of the best defenders in the MLB at his position. I mean, really and truly, you could say, during that time, if he's not the best, he was top 3. But offensively, they were just like, 250, 260, whatever. Okay, cool. I think that's what kind of held him back. And I hate it for him because, growing up, like Mosby said, it was WGN or, you either got to watch the Cubs or the Braves. And that's watching the Braves with my granny was the biggest reason that I'm a big baseball fan to this day. She was the biggest Braves fan. Every time I'd go to her house, she'd have Braves baseball on. I'd have cold Coke in the refrigerator. I had peanut brittle, homemade peanut brittle, and I had those little strawberry candies. Every time I'd go over there, I knew I was getting all 4 of them things: Braves baseball, peanut brittle, Coke, and the little strawberry candies with the gel filling. But also at the same time, too, it was one of the greatest things to do was sit in my granny's lap and watch baseball. Now, she didn't talk about the stats or any of that. She was a big Chipper Jones and Andruw Jones fan. And then,
yeah,
it just grew into
so
me being a Cardinal fan. But
Preston made a good point here. Someone voted for Rick Porcello over Felix Hernandez.
Oh,
We need
that
a
ain't no
Doge
joke.
audit of the Hall of Fame voters. Moses right. It's a dumpster fire, and it absolutely is. Whenever you're going to help me with this one, who was? Oh, it's King Griffey Jr. who didn't get a unanimous vote.
Unanimous, yeah.
Seriously,
Stupid.
It's because you got these voters that are just
it's
I'm
stupid.
not going to vote for him because he doesn't deserve to be unanimous. Who said so? Why do you get to make that choice? It's
stupid.
like it's the process that they do in the Hall of Fame. It is needed an overhaul for years.
I'm gonna tell you right
For
now.
years.
If Albert Pujols is not a unanimous Hall of Famer, I will lose it on social media.
Oh, dude, I'm just telling you, I will at anybody I can on X. I will post any type of that is one thing that I've said for. I mean,
how many people have over
retired.
700? How many people have over 700 home runs?
Not very
Three?
many.
Four.
Four? Yeah.
Albert, Ruth.
Oh yeah.
Bonds.
Ruth
Hank.
was the one. Hank and then Bonds. Yeah.
Legends. Why is he not talking the same conversation? I mean, we're talking about that's a legendary career in this time frame of the MLB right
And
after the steroid era.
Arguably one of the greatest pure hitters in baseball history.
He's unbelievable. You know,
I mean,
the Angels
first 10
really
years he averaged 30 home runs and 100 RBIs and hit over 300.
Now, I do want to say this. Preston did, and he made this point here too. Andruw Jones was only an All-Star 5 times in 17 career seasons. That's tough for a Hall of Famer, and that might have been something that was holding him back as well. How he was only an All-Star 5 times is beyond me. But
the All-Star voting is a fan vote, correct?
Oh yeah.
So that's why.
And then they get mixed in there with
they get mixed. So like the same thing with people like, oh, I'm a Pro Bowler or whatever. Well, that's a fan vote. Like, go off of all pros, which MLB don't have a thing like that, like all MLB team or whatever like that. Like NFL has all pro, NBA has the all NBA teams. I mean, that's more the media voting and stuff like that. Like the All-Star voting thing, it's more pure in MLB because the game's still cool to watch, fun to watch, unlike the NBA and the NFL. But it's a fan vote. That's what it is.
Now,
Shin Choo Choo got a vote.
Now, here's what's exciting, though. Carlos Beltran got in. I was nervous about this one because of the scandal, him being tied to the Astros.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad people looked at what Carlos Beltran was whenever he was coming through the league. He started in 1998. And I remember just growing up around that time, he was always the one when people talked about a 5-tool player, it was Carlos Beltran. Carlos Beltran. You want to be a 5-tool player? Carlos Beltran. You remember that?
Could you imagine if the Royals could have kept their young studs together?
And so I am so glad he got in. Carlos Beltran, 435 home runs, 1,587 RBIs, 312 stolen bases, 279 career average with a 350 on base percentage. And he was not a chump by any means with the glove either. He had looks like 3 gold gloves. Incredible. I mean, he was just an absolute incredible player. And I loved being able to get to see him in the Cardinals uniform there right after we lost Pujols, because you both remember how depressed I was when we lost Pujols.
I wanted to boycott baseball.
Terrible.
That day you were on one. Yep.
But switch hitter, again, I appreciate the switch hitters who do so well, because it's just tough to be a switch hitter and be successful.
Played on a lot of teams.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The Royals, Houston, the Mets, the Giants, Cardinals, Yankees, Texas there at the end, back to Houston. So I'm so glad he got in. Do you think he gets another? Because remember, he was going to go manage the Mets, and then that scandal came out, and they said no way. He just came out publicly and said he wants to get an opportunity to manage again. Do you think he'll ever get that chance?
Yes.
I think he should, because AJ Hinch got another chance, and then the Red Sox manager, what is that? Cora? Because remember, he got in trouble, like he was connected to something or whatever, and he got another chance. So I'm pretty sure the Red Sox hired Cora, right, and then went away from him and then came back to him.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And then AJ Hinch with the Tigers now. So yeah, I think Carlos Beltran. Yeah, I absolutely think
He definitely
chance.
should get another chance.
Yeah. We'll see what Preston says here. The stats are there, but hey, he's up there with all the other cheaters. If you're going to vote him in, I'm okay with it, but let Bonds, A-Rod, and Clemens all in. No, you don't want to get me started on that.
I agree with you, Preston.
Hold on,
Bonds, Clemens, and A-Rod should have been in years ago.
We're leaving out one name that should be in the hall that isn't.
Mark
and
McGuire,
that's Pete Rose.
Oh.
Pete Rose. You start with Pete Rose, and then you fall in with Bonds and McGuire and A-Rod and Clemens.
Sometimes I'm torn on Pete Rose because I am a man that loves to dabble in certain things that Pete Rose like to dabble in. But to me, okay, you were dabbling while you were coaching that team. I mean,
but the question. So my question is the Hall of Fame based off of his coaching career or what he did when he was playing? I get it. What he did was frowned upon.
I agree.
And
with
I'm one that's not going to turn ahead. If somebody did wrong, he needs to pay the price.
That's part of it. It's part of the reason why I said they need to change their system, because in the NFL, you get caught with steroids, you're suspended 4 games, and let's go back to it. Does not affect you. Has never affected anybody. I mean, Lawrence Taylor, maybe the best defensive player, unanimous difference player.
Well, I mean, hey, I wish that would have happened a long time ago.
And no,
I mean, he's not wrong though. Oh, there he is.
But Lawrence Taylor, he was known to play in snow quite a bit and stuff like that. I mean, but
him and Michael Irvin like to go build snowmen.
Not for 20 years though. You saw, not for 20 years. Oh, okay. So there was another one they got voted in. He was elected by the whatever the older committee is.
Jeff Kent.
Jeff Kent guy. Listen,
I like it.
Duke could hit. Duke could hit 55.4, 290 batting average, 377 home runs, 1,320 runs.
One of the best second basemen there's been.
1,500 RBIs, 94 stolen bases, and he got to play with Bonds. I mean, that was a deadly little duo that they had.
Yes,
but this is where you get. He won MVP too. He won the MVP in 2000. But this is where you can kind of start getting to the point, and this is where some people don't like the Hall being a oversaturated situation, because Jeff Kent, yes, I'm okay with it. I think you guys are okay with it, right?
Yeah.
But you look at these numbers, 2,400 hits, 377 home runs. It's, I could see the argument, somebody arguing that he shouldn't be in, that they might be upset that he's not, he got in. You know what I mean? Like, I could see the argument. I'm okay with him being in.
Yeah.
I'm
100% okay with it.
Do you think he had a Hall of Fame career? Not the fact that he got in, but do you think if you were a Hall of Fame voter, would you have voted for him?
I'm a big fantasy guy, and I like to think about back then whenever I would play with these players, if I coveted drafting them and for how long. Jeff Kent was a top 3 second baseman in fantasy for many, 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 many years.
So that's where I would say I would vote for him, because I would look at it by position.
And that's what Preston just said. He said if it wasn't a second baseman, then no way he should be getting in.
Me and Preston, like,
you are on one.
Our wavelengths are connecting or something. But
buy our tickets back.
And what did he say before that? About time on Jeff Kent. MATL staple.
A Madel staple. Yes, he is.
That's it. Madel staple.
But that's where I'm kind of like, okay, as a second baseman, yes, he's up there all time. Is he the best second baseman ever? No, but he's one of the best offensive second basemen in the history. So that's where I'm looking at the position. Like, yeah, absolutely, he deserves. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to compare him to Bonds and Pujols and all Ken Griffey Jr., then no. But I think that's what I was going to say. That's why I think it kind of needs to be position base, like some of these closers or whatever. Why are we comparing them to these hitters and these starting pitchers and stuff like that? Like, compare them to their own position. What have you already allowed in the Hall of Fame at that position? And if they meet that criteria, maybe they should get in.
Which is what I'm going to have an argument with people about this man right here. Because if he doesn't get in the Hall of Fame immediately, and then maybe not first ballot, but if he doesn't get in the Hall of Fame quickly, I'm going to throw a massive, massive fit. Because people are already talking, he shouldn't be in. Look at that, 176 home runs, 277 batting average. And I'm sitting there going, 9 gold gloves, 10-time All-Star, 4-time platinum glove winner, and people who love the championships, 2-time World Series champion. Dang right he better be in because he was a catcher. So that one's I can already see it. I'm gonna be so
he is but during his time he was the Peyton Manning of baseball, the greatest field general, the greatest battery mate that any pitcher could ever have.
Look at the attempted stolen bases. That stat is so funny to look at. On the Cardinals, it's way down here, and
I mean, what was it? It was I think this was might have been even spring training. It wasn't even in the regular season yet. He had a rookie on first base. I think it was maybe the Astros. Oh, he's sitting over here trying to act like he's going to steal, and Yachty looks at him, and he just kind of, so Yachty tells him to go. Yeah. See, go. Yeah. Next pitch, kid takes off. Yachty picks him off, and he gets up, and he just kind of looks at him, nods his head. The guy was like, "Yeah, I ain't doing that again."
Preston said Yachty has to go in, set the standard for a whole generation behind the plate, and manage several staffs to World Series titles. This is a no-brainer. Yeah. But there's going to be arguments because I already see it online.
Oh, 100%.
One of the best catchers of all time, and like I said, there's better offensive stat catchers. Yes, there is. But when the catcher, it comes to the whole aspect of the game, because you are there with those staff, those pitchers, ball, calling the balls, calling the pitches. I mean, it's just, and it's like I said,
I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see this guy as our next pitching coach.
But hey, we did it with Dave Duncan for years.
He was one of the best pitching coaches in the league at that point.
Bring old Pujols in to be the hitting coach, and we got a squad. So there's that, the Hall of Fame. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to come right here, and this is the top 100 players right now entering 2025. And
hey, look, the first 10 are on Ben's fantasy team.
There's Mr. Francisco Lindor. I couldn't trade him to save my life last year in fantasy. And people finally Preston, and then, of course, Preston made the championship. Somebody finally listened. Yordan Alvarez. I'm not sure. Maybe this is entering 2025. This was entering 2025 last year. Yordan Alvarez is going to drop.
Yes,
he just is. He cannot stay on the field. Jose Ramirez, Mr. Consistent.
Freddie Freeman's going to drop.
Yeah, he's
because of age. Yeah,
Gunnar Henderson's going to drop because he kind of had a down year.
Screwball's going to jump up.
Okay, but which pitcher are you choosing out of Skubal and Paul Skeens? Who would you take
right now?
Right now, 1 year.
Just because of the team, I'm going Tarek Skubal.
Well, I'm talking like you could pick them on the Cardinals.
They can be on any team.
Oh, see, hey.
Who's the better pitcher?
I might go Paul Skeens.
Oh man,
that's tough.
Paul's, gosh, man, that is.
I'd probably
go Paul Skeens too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're telling me I can put him on the Cardinals, yeah, I'm taking Paul Skeens
for 1 year.
I would like him more than one though.
I'm taking Tarek Skubal. Now, if we're going multiple years, that's where I take Skeens. Kind of like what we talked about earlier with the Bears and the Rams.
Yeah.
I think Tarek Skubal, not the age of Matthew Stafford, but he's the Matthew Stafford right now. But Paul Skeens, if you said 3 years, I'm taking Paul Skeens. Of course, Tommy John will probably creep up.
That's one stadium we need to try to go watch a game in is the Comerica.
That would be fun.
I'm in.
And right there at number 14, do you see that name?
Oh my Lord, yes.
Kyle Tucker. Yep.
Kyle Tucker. What do we think about that whole situation of Kyle Tucker?
Didn't I say this when we were talking about the free agency? I said Dodgers.
No, I went back and looked. We were all
wrong.
wrong.
Were we all wrong?
We were all wrong. I said Cubs. You said Phillies.
Oh,
And John said
Yankees.
He said Yankees. Yeah. Yep. I went back and looked. I'm like, ooh, I gotta go see.
Did we talk about him going to the Dodgers at all?
I think it was just quick. It was like, who do you guys got? And you said one name. We all said one name. Yeah. But that, I mean, so the contract. Let's talk about the contract real quick, okay? Because we haven't got a chance to talk about this because it happened. Well, when I can't remember when it happened, but the total contract of Kyle Tucker is what? What was it? $240 over 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Not very much of it is deferred. So he's making like $57 million a year. So $60 million a year, 57. You can talk about taxes and all that bullcrap. But this contract right here, I think, is the nail in the coffin for a lockout next year. I think this does it right here. I think it was already headed that way. I think this is the absolute stamp of
100%.
Now, I want to say this before I let you guys give your opinions. And I want people to know that I'm very clear on this, or make myself very clear. I do not blame the Dodgers. I do not blame Kyle Tucker. I blame MLB.
100%.
Here's why. MLB has allowed the Dodgers to do this. They've allowed them to do this. So Dodgers are just playing by the rules. These rules are set to be able to do things like this. The Dodgers are just really good at business. They have a really good farm system. They use that to trade from and all this, but they're really good at business. Okay. Kyle Tucker got I think an offer for $350 for 10 years from the Blue Jays, which in hindsight, it's like, oh my God, wow, $350, that would have been way more. You put yourself in Kyle Tucker's shoes right now. He's 28 years old. You could spend a 10-year contract, meaning you have to play all 10 years, okay? Or you have to give some of that money back if you don't. 10 years for $35 million a year, which is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Or let's go back here. Or somebody comes at you and says, hey, we'll give you $60 million a year for 4 years. What do you take?
Sign me up.
Well, because
60 for 4. I'm in.
He's going to get another massive contract in 4 years.
So I don't blame Tucker at all. I did the same thing. They're like, oh, he should have been. No, he should not have loaded. What are they doing? Why is he doing that? What do you mean? Because they're giving the best value.
You're telling me that I'm going to get $240 million over 4 years. Anybody wants to question it, let them question it. Hey, if you need something, let me know. I'll sign the check because I can afford it.
They didn't defer any of his contract down the line at all or anything.
Minimal,
very little.
I'll try to find.
It's not the Ohtani-like contract.
Okay, and that's another thing. Ohtani's contract is the reason they can do these things.
Yeah,
100%.
That's the contract.
They're going all in approach. They're wanting to win titles, more titles.
Absolutely.
More titles.
Why not?
Until it is stopped with the salary cap or a floor or ceiling, whatever, it's going to continue to do it.
They're going to have to do something. I mean, I saw it where.
I don't think the MLB is powerful enough to do something.
Oh, so I saw a stat, and I wished I could have screenshot this and sent it. Like their payroll or something along the line was more than like 5 teams combined, being the Cardinals, maybe the Rays, the Marlins. I don't know. There was like 5 teams. And I'm sitting there going, my goodness, that is unbelievable.
Okay, now look right here. The Dodgers finalized their deal with Kyle Tucker on Wednesday, signing the outfielder to a 4-year contract worth $240 million. Tucker gets a $64 million signing bonus, guys, for baseball, as part of the contract. $54 million of which will be paid this February 15th, and the other $10 million on February 1st of 2027. Now look at the annual salaries. Next year he'll be making $1 million on the books because of the signing bonus. The Dodgers are good at business.
That's an NFL trick. hey, we're gonna give
Smart.
this much guarantee, a roster bonus or whatever, and won't count towards the salary cap.
55 million 2027, and then they're hoping they'll take that, the player option. They're hoping they'll,
So I know there's probably the MLB is probably going to lock them out or whatever, but I don't know.
They're already there, bro.
I don't know if the MLB is powerful enough to stop this. And I don't think what I'm about to say, I don't think will ever happen. There'd almost have to be a Civil War type or uprising of teams rising up against this stuff. Like, no, we're not putting up with this anymore, blah, blah, blah. But
I think it's happening next year.
It's going to have to.
You think other players and teams are going to step up and
I don't think
they already are. The teams are already saying stuff.
But
some of these guys are already on it.
I think it's going to have to take players. I think it's going to have to take the players to get a change within the players union.
At the end of the day, the players are just pawns. They're on the board and they're being moved around by everybody else.
Me and Ben's talked about it all the time. I don't think the teams in the MLB are powerful enough to make a change with this players union. I think it's going to have to be the players itself, and I just don't see that happening.
Now, I see what you're saying there. It's going to have to be the players that are kind of hacked off that the Dodgers are doing this, and they don't have a chance to win. And Jeff Passan did say that there are players on other teams that are already saying, "How do we beat the Dodgers? This is getting ridiculous." Now, like Preston just said, no, the players love this though. They're getting more and more money in this situation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that the MLBPA is way too strong. It is so strong. It's way different than the NFL. And there's going to be a lockout because, number one, the way salary caps work, if there's a salary cap, there's always a salary floor too. Some of these teams got to spend money. They got to, because if you got a
and
guy,
that's what it's going to come to. I think you're going to have teams like the Cardinals, who obviously they're going through a rebuild. So
great time to do it too, with the Dodgers doing this. Like, awesome.
Might as well. I mean, you're not going to win anyway, so you might as well go ahead and rebuild. But you got the Cardinals and their lack of spending. You've got the Pirates, all these teams that aren't going out and spending these big players, the big money, which, to each their own, whatever. But at some point, you're going to have to force them to spend money, because those owners aren't doing this for nothing. I mean, they're getting they're making money off of everything else. But you're going to have to force them to spend money. There's got to be a certain percentage. I don't know if you do a league average or, whatever, but there's got to be a floor. And there definitely has to be a ceiling. You can't go out and do all this crap that the Dodgers – my goodness, the hiccups hit me that the Dodgers are doing right now, going out and spending, all these millions and millions of dollars on every player at every position, really. Because at this point, yes, you're creating a dynasty. Why, if you're going to allow this, why would anybody spend money at this point? Why would any owner write a big check to anybody?
Yeah.
Let the Dodgers get it. Hey, and props to the Mets. They're letting their ego and their pride sign the checks. And hey, somebody has to do it, because there has got to be a team that absolutely just dethrones the Dodgers somehow.
Yep. It's going to take players or teams. Teams are just going to have to try to play catch up, try to keep up with the Joneses. But
hey, look, like Preston here, can the Angels give their money to the Pirates? Angels spend money, but they waste it. Hey, if you're going to give those contracts to Anthony Rendon and pay people that don't even play, you might as well give it to someone else and let them try and do something with it.
Angels just make bad decisions.
It's one of those things, man, where you've got teams out here that go and try and spend all this money, but obviously spending the money on the wrong guys. But then you got teams that aren't even trying. Yeah, you could say, okay, the Pirates were trying to go after Schwarber. They were doing this. But were they? I know you're trying, but as the Pirates, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay to play. And what I mean by saying that is you're going to have to be able to prove to this guy before he signs this big contract that you're also going after this guy, and this guy. You can't just sign one guy as the Pirates as a sign of Schwarber and hope to make the playoffs and go to the World Series.
Yeah.
to get a guy to come over there, you're going to have to sign multiple guys, and before the first one signs, you're going to have to prove to him that you're doing this.
Preston said, "Can the Angels give their money to the Pirates? Angels spend money, but they waste it." True.
Yeah.
He brought up an interesting question I want you guys to answer here. What's your guys' definition of a dynasty? I always thought of it as starting with a three-peat. Do the Dodgers have a dynasty now, or are they one more World Series title away from one?
No, I mean, I think they're already there. Yes, used to, 3 titles, whatever. But listen, they're there. They've got the team. Obviously, they have the roster, and they're only going to get better. If they have an injury, they're just going to go sign or trade for somebody. So what does that matter? Their roster is set. And I saw where they come out and said that they think their roster is set. Well, yeah, your roster was set 2 years ago. You didn't have to sign anybody this year to be good.
My definition of a dynasty is 5 years of sustained success, either playing in the championship game or winning the championship game. And not necessarily the World Series, but NL championship or the World Series. Five years of that with multiple titles in that period, then I think it could be considered a dynasty. Like, I don't think the Braves were a dynasty because they only won one of them. The Yankees were. I mean,
Cardinals, baby.
Cardinals were close. I mean, I probably in the mid 2000s. Yeah, I mean, Dodgers are at the start of one. Now, if they
that's what I'm saying. I think
if they fall off the edge of the earth the next 2 years and miss the playoffs, no, you're not going to call them a dynasty. They're just back-to-back champions. I mean,
hey, listen, don't tease me with a good time. I mean, I would love for them to fall off.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. He also Mosby. I see. I almost see something else here, Preston. I think the Dodgers are a dynasty right now. I do. I think the Cardinals were just more consistent, not necessarily a dynasty. They were just more consistent.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. You guys, I want you to talk about one thing here. I want you to tell me, with the current roster of the Dodgers, do you think they could beat all-star teams from other divisions like the AL Central or the AL West or any of that? Talk about it.
So they're loaded. So what is the deepest division? It'd probably be the NL West, but the Dodgers play in the NL West. So that eliminates that. So then you got AL East, okay? Well,
yeah.
When you look at that, they don't have any dominant pitching.
Nope.
Not one team has the best pitcher in the AL's on the Tigers, but is the best hitter is Jose Ramirez. So
yeah.
You got Bobby Witt Jr., but is there enough to beat that lineup and that pitching staff? Probably not. So then you go to AL West, you got some good pitching with the Mariners. You got Julio Rodriguez, you got Cal Raleigh. Okay, the Rangers got Jacob deGrom.
Angels got Mackenzie Gore.
Angels have nothing. So Athletics have a couple young hitters. Okay, so then you go to NL East. I mean, Bryce Harper, is Schwarber still with the Phillies?
Yeah, he resigned with them.
Zach Wheeler. Okay, well then you got the Mets are putting together a bit of a team. So I think the best. And then you got the NL Central. I mean, you got some good pitching there, but Kyle Tucker's no longer in the Central anymore. You got the Brewers are the ones that win that division, and there's really no elite hitter there. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz probably has the best star power. I'd probably say the best chance of any division would probably be the NL East, because I think they have a little bit more deeper pitching and a little bit more deeper star power on the offensive side.
I think so. I mean, when you're sitting there, you look at the NL East. You could pluck any player from the Braves, from the Mets, really, and you could almost assemble a roster just off those two teams alone, and then of course dabble with the Phillies and whatnot. But
you got the Marlins young stud pitcher. You got Spencer Strider. You got Zach Wheeler. That's a 3-1 good 1-2-3 punch. And you got Juan Soto.
Well, the Mets just traded for Freddie Peralta.
Peralta. So there's your top 4 pitchers. I mean, then you got Bo Bichette, you got Juan Soto, you got Bryce Harper, you got Kyle Schwarber, you got
Acuna.
You got Austin Riley. So I think that the NL East would be the best ones that I think out of all the divisions that you'd have the best chance of creating an all-star lineup to be able to compete with the Dodgers.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I do like what Preston said here. And he said, thing about baseball is there's layers. Talent is distributed in categories. I think LA is still not loaded in the bullpen in this day and age that exposes you as most games go to the pen. So it's just hard to say that with the all-star. I mean, they're loaded, obviously. They would compete. It'd be a fun 7-game series, but it's hard to you're talking about 5 different teams you can throw players in there on in any of the divisions. So it'd be tough, but I'm not going to say it's not completely impossible because they are that good loaded. Yeah. So anyway, good baseball segment, boys. Good baseball segment. I'll quickly do this, and we're going to go stay on this for about 5 seconds so we can let John smile, even though he probably didn't even watch 1 second of it. But congratulations, OSU, for winning 37-0 wrestling. All right, let's go over to this.
They are so good.
David Taylor, the Magic Man. They're good, but Penn State is that much better.
Penn State's solid too.
Yeah, I just talked to one of my buddies over here in Bartlesville he's in the youth wrestling over here too, Mosby, and he's a big OSU fan. And he talked about it, and he said, OSU, they're getting better, maybe in 2 years. But he said Penn State's just it's just not there. It's not fair.
Our wrestling coach that we have with the youth, he's wrestled at that level. He wrestled at Minnesota and Nebraska. He wrestled against both of them, and he says, yeah, OSU could probably finish second or third. He said, but do you have 10 guys that go toe-to-toe with Penn State? Penn State could produce 10 All-Americans. Yeah. No other teams that deep right now.
So with that being said, that's all I'm going to give that. But here's our graphic here. Would you rather? This is our Would You Rather segment. And for whatever reason, Mosby, listen, John, I don't know if you know this, but John, Mosby just sends me the most random things sometimes.
We got to have some content, baby.
I can see it.
In this podcast. And this is one of the ones he sent me. And I'm like, what? Is this really a thing? And it is. Like, this is really something that's been going viral. Why? I don't know. But here's the thing, John. The internet is divided between the 2 bedroom layouts. Layout 1's on the left, layout 2 is on the right. Which one of these layouts would you choose for this small room?
Are you asking me right now?
I'm asking you right now because Mosby's already thought about this for a couple days.
It's layout 1. I don't even have to look at anything. 1, I'm never putting my bed in front of a window ever. I absolutely hate that. 2, I don't understand why you would put the bed inside that little crease, because then I have no room for my nightstand, for my phone, for my clock, for my whatever, for my junk when I empty my pockets at night. I don't have any room for that. It's at the foot of the bed. It makes no sense. And 3, that L shape right there in front of the window seems to match that desk perfectly. So why would I just throw it out in the middle of the freaking floor? That is dumb. I don't get it. Why is this even a thing?
Okay. Preston's in agreement. Go ahead, Mosby.
Okay, so I can break down both. There's pros and cons to both. Okay. Layout 1, you have nowhere to hang your TV. You can't hang it on the closet wall. The door's right there. So if you're a TV person in the bedroom, which I would assume 90% of America currently is, you have nowhere to hang your TV. Where are you going to put the TV? Okay. Layout 1, the benefit is your desk is your desk is in the right spot right there by the window. Okay. And then you're able to use the nightstand, and the door right there opens. You're able to see line of sight who comes in. Okay. Now there's not very much room to move around in layout 1. Okay. The con is the TV, not much room. The pros is the line of sight with the door, nightstand, and the desk is in the perfect spot with the light. When you want to do some work, you look out the window. Okay. Layout 2, you have more room. You have a place to put your TV. Okay. Now there's a pro and con to the window. Like John, I don't like my bed by the window during the daylight. But at night, I might like to crack that window open, get a little bit more cool air in, especially during this time of the year. I like to be cool. Okay, open up that window. But I tend to lead towards more John. I don't like my bed by the window. But you have somewhere to put your TV, to hang your TV on the wall and mount it. Okay, you have more room. You can actually open your closet doors. You have more room to move around. You have more room that if you need another chair in there to host someone or whatever, they have plenty of space to sit and not feel crowded like they would in layout one. But you don't have a line of sight of when someone comes into the door. You have nowhere. You have nowhere to go. You can't see them. And the biggest thing to me about layout two is that damn nightstand is useless right there.
Exactly. So one, I could fix your TV problem because I have one of the mounts right here.
I see that, John. Crap.
Golly, I got a swing mount here on my TV. It looks like it's mounted flat. Unfortunately, no, I could pull it out. I could swing it around. Whoa, sheesh. I ain't trying to show you none of that.
Okay.
I can mount it flat on the wall, whether it be over here to the side or wherever, and swing it out. That's easy. And you mentioned room. You don't have much room to move around. You got plenty of room to move around. Now, if you're looking to swing dance or do the do-si-do, no, you're probably not going to do that in layout one, but this is a bedroom. This is where you sleep. This is where you have fun time. This is whatever. This ain't for parties and, whatever. I'm late. I can't do anything other than layout one. I can't even try and justify anything on layout two at all whatsoever.
Okay. Well, the answer's simple for me. And the reason layout two wouldn't work is because the glare from the window would hit your computer screen while you're trying to work, and it would ruin your viewing if you're whatever you're doing. So that's in long everything you guys explained, that would be the ruiner right there.
Well, see, thanks, Preston. I'm glad somebody finally sees it.
It's a $3,000 a month apartment in New York, by the way. Also, if I'm a guy that doesn't like to have my computer set up to where people could just walk up behind me and see what I'm doing. I don't like that. So with layout one, I can open, and that'd be another thing I would do. Definitely. I'd open the window. If it's a nice day out, I'd open the window. It'd be the greatest thing ever. Just work.
Layout one is perfect for sitting there to work and look at that window.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The sleeping part, I'll be honest, I could sleep either bed in this. Like the westernly air, easternly air mostly. I would open that sucker up
and just let it blow.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. It'd be great.
So on the sleeping thing, because are you guys that need to be warm to go to sleep, or you need to be cold?
Cold.
Because I need to be cold.
And then I get it cold. I'm sleeping in my shorts or my skivvies. I can't wear clothes. I cannot wear clothes to bed, but I want it cool, cold, and I want blanket to curl up in.
So I went down a little rabbit hole about sleeping in the cool, and there's a lot of places up north that when the kids at daycare go to take a nap, they take a nap outside because it is supposed to be so much better for you. But I'm one that my house don't go above 66 during the winter. Stays 66.
I'm not to swing it back here to this room, but the night light and layout one.
Preston, you're gonna have to arrange that with Tracy because she might yell at us.
Rearrange my living room. Confirmed.
Yeah, what's up with that night light?
The night light's not staying there for me. If I'm gonna have a night light, I would put it on my desk somewhere, but it's not gonna stay right there behind my chair. That's ridiculous. It can't go anywhere else. I'm not even sure, and even a nightstand there. I might even take the nightstand away, just not have a nightstand. Just put my phone on the ground for something this small, or attach something to the wall on the other side,
or just put it on your desk.
Just mount it under your TV that I've mounted on the swing mount up on the wall.
As far as being able to get to my dresser and all that's a part of a room that
I'll tell you that, Pete.
That's a part of a room that's only used for a minimal part of the time. It's not like big expression of.
Jake's John.
Dang, John.
Close up.
That's not like a big expression
God, what
of,
the
hey
heck
guys,
is going on?
hey guys, look at my dresser. I'm opening it up, get my clothes, my shoes. I'm closing it back.
Or if you're like me, your clothes usually don't make it out of the laundry basket anyways. So.
So layout 1, I'm not sure what Psychopath would do layout 2. Is there any other way that you could make this room other than layout 1 or layout 2? I mean, is there any other thing you could do?
The only other thing that you could maybe think of is to turn the bed in layout 1, but then that would probably interfere with your way to get to your desk. I mean,
no, you could flip that. You could flip that TV the other way, or the bed the other way. Yeah.
But then you'd be facing straight at the window in that glare. So that is a negative.
But I wouldn't.
That is the negative for both of them. Is the light that's going to come in through that window, and it's going to hit the bed either way. Now the benefit.
I'm going to get those dark out.
Benefit of layout.
Benefit
of layout 2 is your head's closer to the wall, so it would be more down towards your torso and lower body. Where layout 1, that's going to come right straight to you and hit your head.
I'm sitting here also going, man, layout 2, you don't have a full area to get out of bed. Like you have to crawl down
your bed. Yep.
To get out. Like layout 1, I can roll out to the left. I don't know, but anyway, wall or no wall, what would you guys do?
Wall. I gotta
sleep by the wall.
I sleep better when I'm sleeping something on my back. That is, I'm telling you, that's what I tell my wife when she's like, "Well, why you sleep on the couch?" Well, because I can put my back and my hand up on that couch, and boom. I mean, now you ask what would make each one of these better? You take out the bed and put a couch in, and then
yeah, no kidding. You know what?
So the real question is standing at the foot of the bed, looking at the bed. Are you a left side or right side sleeper?
Well, since I've been sleeping on the right side for the last 14 years that I've been with my wife, I'm a right side sleeper.
You're facing the bed?
Yeah. So you walk up to the foot of bed. You're looking at the bed.
I'm on the right side.
I'm on the right side every time.
Looking at the bed or looking towards the closet or the desk?
Nope. When you're walk up to the bed, you're looking at the bed.
Left side. I'm left side guy.
I'm 100% right side.
Been on the left side.
And it doesn't matter if it's my bed, if we're at a hotel, if we're staying at a friend's house, where we're staying, it's a right side.
Isn't it weird how we create those little habits because like John said at the hotel, when we go to get a hotel, my wife always goes to the right side. I always go to the left side. Hey, Penelope. But folks, as you can see, dad moments pop up on us every time in life. I mean, that is
Preston, you got to put your foot down, homie. Listen, I'm just telling you, I can't sleep if I'm on the left side of the bed. Can't do it. I will wake up and I will have her switch sides.
Penelope's running a fever. Yeah, and Preston said, I remember the guys in college that suspended the beds in the air. I would be on the right side. I'm on the right side because I'm a lefty. That's why I do it. So I want to be on the left side as I lay down on me.
Because you don't want your left hand getting interfered with.
Yeah, so that's why I do it. But hey, cool little debate there, kind of random, but it was fun regardless.
Different.
So it was different. Anything else? Final thoughts here?
Well, obviously coming down to the end of the NFL, I mean, most of us, we still follow quite a bit of the sport. Even when our team's not doing anything. I know it's been a while since Mosby's had to do any of this, but watch playoff football without your team being in there. It sucks, but you'll get used to it. But the one thing I've been watching, this is one of the craziest years with the coaching, hiring, and firings. The coaching carousel is absolutely crazy. You had a couple spots filled today. I mean, Jesse Minter signing with the Ravens. My Cowboys finally got a defensive coordinator who
was it Flores or
yeah.
That's another thing that Sean was wrong on. I'm blind.
No, I just said I wanted Flores. call it wrong or
Your
whatever.
exact words were, if
You
he wanted
said-
a better chance to get an NFL job, he'd come coach the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely.
And I think you
But
forget.
hey, he settled for mediocrity. That's fine.
I think you forget that the NFL is not college football, so it's not like him going from Jackson State to Alabama coaching. He's coaching at an NFL team and doing a good job. And and correct me if I'm wrong, Benjamin and John.
It's Benjamin, not Erman.
But since Randy Moss was drafted, the Vikings have had better success in the NFL than the Dallas Cowboys.
But hold on, if we're correcting folks, right? Let's backtrack. If we're correcting folks,
and with that, we're going to wrap things up. That sounds like a whole nother segment that we could have for another episode. We are at the 2 hour and 10-minute mark. So you guys take it easy. If you live in Oklahoma, live in this big winter storm that's about to happen, prepare yourselves and stay warm. Don't do stupid things. Keep the first thing first. Make sure you're prioritizing your family. And enjoy the NFL playoffs this weekend because the football season is ending. I am excited about baseball really ramping up, so we can talk more about baseball, especially fantasy baseball, because that is definitely a passion of mine. So proud of all you guys, proud of Mosby, proud of John. Thank you for tuning in, Preston, for chatting with us. And with that, cliffhanger. Preston said, I hate cliffhangers. With that.